Amid rising regional tensions, another major news comes from South Korea. Junong Daily reports that an underwater icon, the diesel-electric attack submarine ROKS Jang Bogo-class 061, the first of the Jang Bogo-class, has officially completed its final sail and is scheduled for decommissioning on December 30th, 2025. This is no ordinary retirement. It marks the end of 33 years of history and 23 years of active service as one of the backbones of South Korea's underwater fleet. However, it is precisely at this juncture that a golden opportunity arises for the Philippines. Rather than being turned into a monument, a museum, or scrapped, South Korea's first submarine has officially been offered for transfer to a friendly nation. And now, two leading candidates are at the forefront, Poland or the Philippines. The question is South Korea preparing to give its first submarine to the Philippines? And more importantly, will the Philippines be able to capitalize on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Jang Bogo history and capabilities. The ROKS Jang Bogo is a derivative of the German Type 209/1200 design, one of the most successful and proven diesel-electric submarine designs in the world. Launched in the early 1990s and then extensively modernized in the early 2000s, the submarine features a current sonar system, NATO standard torpedo capacity, training capabilities, and modern anti-submarine tactics. Controls similar to many new generation diesel-electric submarines in Southeast Asia. While not the most modern, the Jang Bogo is an excellent training platform, entry point for capitation, and familiarization for countries that have never operated submarines, including the Philippines. In other words, the Jang Bogo is a bridge to a modern submarine fleet. Why would South Korea give it away? South Korea has made its final decision. Not to be preserved. Not to be turned into a museum. Not to be kept as a historical asset. Ready to be transferred to a partner country. Seoul's goal is clear. Strengthen defense cooperation, expand its export footprint, and counterbalance China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. If the Philippines receives this submarine, it won't be just a donation. It will be a strategic gesture, a sign of South Korea's deep trust in Manila. Philippine internal issues, politics, and budget. But here's the bittersweet part. The Philippines submarine program has long been held back by two major issues. One, budget pressure. Defense modernization is facing a funding shortage. Every branch of the military must compete for priority. Two, the Department of Defense's focus. Currently, the D&D has prioritized the Philippine Air Force's multi-role fighter jets, not submarines. What does that mean? The submarine project continues to slide down the priority list. If the Philippines wants to receive the Jang Bogo, the earliest possible date is 2026 or 2027, and even then, it remains uncertain. 2 South Korean strategic scenarios. Scenario 1, conditional transfer. South Korea provides submarines only if the Philippines commits to purchasing new submarines from Hana Ocean or HD Hyundai Heavy Industries. This is a gift while fishing for a contract. Unconditional transfer, investment diplomacy. In this scenario, South Korea provides submarines as a long-term diplomatic investment with the hope of the Philippines gaining submarine experience early. The Philippines ultimately choosing Korean-made submarines. The Korea-Philippines underwater partnership is strengthening. This is a military soft power strategy. Give assistance now, reap commitments in the future. Free but not free. Even though they are donations, submarines still require repairs and service life extensions, system refits, recertification, modifications for tropical climates, crew training costs, logistics, and initial operational costs. However, all of this is far cheaper than purchasing new submarines worth hundreds of millions of dollars. In other words, this is the most realistic shortcut for the Philippines to establish a submarine capability without waiting another 10 to 15 years. A rare opportunity for the Philippine Navy. If the Philippines accepts Jang Bogo, then for the first time in history, the Philippine Navy will have an operational submarine. Filipino sailors and technicians can train directly on a real platform. Undersea doctrine can be built from scratch. Infrastructure can be developed along the way. The Philippines will not be left behind by Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore, which have already gone much further. This is the first step that will determine the future. The first submarine doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that it lays the foundation. Now we stand at a crossroads. South Korea is ready to provide a symbol of partnership, a submarine that represents the beginning of its own underwater journey. The opportunity now lies before the Philippines. The question is no longer whether South Korea is ready, but whether the Philippines is ready to embrace it. If we truly desire a submarine fleet, if we truly desire to protect our own waters, then this is a first step that cannot be missed. This opportunity only comes once. The question is, do we dare to seize it?